The image you're seeing should not exist. It isn't sharp. It isn't colorful. It isn't even taken by the kind of telescope you'd expect. It's just a faint green speck floating against the rusty sky of Mars. But that speck is history because it isn't a star. It isn't a planet. It isn't even from our solar system. That glowing .3i Atlas, an interstellar visitor traveling faster than anything we've ever tracked near Mars. A traveler from the depths of space. And here's the strangest part. The picture wasn't captured by Hubble, or the James Webb, or even one of the billion-dollar orbiters surrounding Mars. No. It came from a small dust-streaked camera bolted onto the Perseverance rover meant only to watch the weather, not the cosmos. In an accidental frame, humanity caught its first ever image of an interstellar object from the surface of another planet. It should have been the headline of the decade, the kind of discovery that gets a press conference. A global announcement, a wave of excitement. Instead, silence, no release from NASA, no details from China and the UAE, who had orbiters in position, said nothing. The world was handed a blurry dot and then left in the dark. Why? Why would the world's top space agencies go quiet at the very moment we needed answers? And what if that silence is telling us more than the photo itself? Because this is not just another comet story. What you're about to discover may change everything we thought we knew about interstellar. The truth is, Mars had the front row seat on its way into the inner solar system. 3 Atlas skimmed past the red planet, slipping just 28 million kilometers from its orbit. That's closer than Venus ever comes to Earth, and waiting for it were an army of watchers. China's Tianwen-1, the Hope probe from the UAE, NASA's own MRO and MAVEN, even Europe's ExoMars Mars orbiter. For once, every major space power had a telescope pointed at the same target. The moment of closest approach came with almost no warning. The object appeared brighter than predicted, a faint green light pulsing against the black sky, then splitting into irregular flashes like a heartbeat. The coma, the hazy cloud of gas and dust around its core, didn't line up with its motion. Instead, it trailed sideways as if pushed by something other than sunlight. For scientists, this was the first red flag. For everyone else, it was the beginning of a mystery that would break the internet. Hours later, NASA's public archive quietly uploaded an annotated photo, a tiny highlighted dot captured from orbit. No press release, no statement, just a cryptic update in a folder almost nobody checks. But here's the twist. That image wasn't from NASA's flagship missions. It came from a low-priority camera designed for terrain mapping, almost like the official eyes weren't supposed to see it, but a backup system caught it by accident. And then just like that, the feed went silent. No follow-up, no clarification, no reassurance. The biggest Mars flyby in human history. And the agencies in charge gave us nothing, but why? What did they see that we weren't allowed to? The deeper scientists looked, the stranger it became. Every comet we've ever studied brightened smoothly as sunlight heats its icy surface. But Atlas refused to play by the rules. Instead of a steady glow, its brightness jumped in sharp steps like flipping a switch on and off. What could cause that? Jets of gas breaking through the surface or something more deliberate, almost mechanical? Then came the chemical bombshell. Spectrographs revealed an 8.1 ratio of carbon dioxide to water vapor. To put that in perspective, normal comets show the opposite. Water dominates, CO2 plays a secondary role. But this, it was flipped, inverted, unnatural. So what exactly is spewing from its core? Exoticus from a far-off star system, or a signature of technology we don't yet understand. And the biggest shock wasn't even the chemistry. It was the shape. High-resolution imaging hinted that Atlas wasn't jagged and irregular like Oumuamua or Borisov. Instead, it appeared strangely smooth, almost spherical like a manufactured object. Nature doesn't usually build perfect spheres in deep space, but engineers do. And yet one more clue refused to fit the comet story. No visible dust tail, no long glowing stream like every comet produces when it heats near the sun. Just a dense, a symmetric coma that clung to it tightly, almost as if it was contained. So, here's the question scientists are still whispering. If it's not behaving like a comet, is it even a comet at all? Is 3i Atlas just an exotic ice ball from the stars? Or are we staring at the first engineered interstellar probe ever caught in our skies? The data didn't just raise eyebrows. It cracked open a debate that no one was ready for. And just as the mystery deepened, the universe decided to make things even harder. Because right after the Mars Flyby 3 Atlas slipped out of sight, right after the Mars Flyby 3 Atlas vanished, not destroyed, not broken apart, simply hidden, slipping behind the sun, For more than 30 days, Earth became blind. No telescope on the ground could see it. No radar, no optical trace. If the object had changed course, we wouldn't have known until it was already too late. And here's the part that unsettled even the experts. During this blackout, the agencies went silent. No press conferences, no new data, nothing. NASA, ISA, China, every major space agency suddenly quiet. So the question spread like wildfire. Was there truly nothing to report? Or was there something they weren't ready to tell us? For an entire month, the fate of 3i Atlas and maybe even ours was left hanging insolence. The blackout didn't just frustrate scientists, it set the internet on fire. Within hours of the last Mars image being posted, forums, Discord servers, and Reddit threads blew up. YouTube was flooded with breakdown videos, and X, formerly Twitter, was trending worldwide with a single phrase. 3 Atlas is alive. People zoomed into every pixel of that faint green dot, claiming to see edges too sharp to be natural. A glow that looked more like a reactor than a comet. Even ripple-like distortions around the object as if space itself was bending. Others pointed out the brightening pattern. Instead of fading smoothly, it pulsed not once, not twice, but in precise steps, almost like controlled burns. That's not physics, some argued. That's engineering. Then the theories went into overdrive. What if 3 Atlas is not a comet at all, but an interstellar probe deliberately using Mars and the Sun for a gravity slingshot? And what if the silence from NASA, ESA, and CNSA isn't because there's nothing to report, but because there's too much? Another group claimed this was never alien at all, but human, a black project finally exposed by cosmic chance. A testbed for propulsion systems decades ahead of what's on the books. Could a so-called comet actually be proof of technologies hidden in plain sight? And of course, skeptics had their say. It's just a comet. Just the strangest one we've ever seen. Smooth, tailless, chemically impossible, but still natural. Yet here's the thing. This wasn't just astronomy anymore. It was global suspense. Millions of people, from scientists to teenagers on TikTok, refreshing feeds, pointing telescopes, asking the same question. What is it? Because whether it's alien, human, or simply nature at its weirdest, in fact became undeniable. 3i Atlas had broken the internet. So let me throw this to you. If you had to bet right now, would you call this a comet, a cover-up, or first contact? Drop your answer below, because when 3 Atlas reappears, we'll see who was right.